Hello YouTube. Let's continue the Tailcone build of this RV-14. Today's video is number 17 of the Tailcone build, and it focuses on the right side skin, right side lower skin. I'm using my smart method where I tape a bunch of stuff in and do it all at once. What am I doing with the tape there? Oh, I think I'm retaping my bucking bar because, so for the uninitiated, when you're using a rivet gun and a bucking bar, the bucking bar tends to bounce around quite a bit. Even with good control and a lot of practice, it just sort of, it will rattle all around a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll use blue painter's tape on the bucking bar to sort of mask off the edges of it, because you really want the shop side of the rivet head that you're, oh my gosh, the shop head of the rivet that you're forming to be against the nice smooth face of a bucking bar. So there's no reason for the edges to be anything but soft, I guess. So yeah, you just sort of tape it off, and that way when it's banging around, if you sort of get a little off center or a little on an angle or something, it doesn't damage the skin or the longeron or whatever you happen to be riveting into. But look at that nice smooth skin there. It's turning out pretty good. Oh, this frontmost bulkhead that I've got there, it was kind of a pain to get the rivets to go through that. And then there's a single flange that passes through, or rather that the longeron passes through. There's two rivets that go into it, and I'm not working on it now, it's at the top, but I couldn't get the flange to set down against the longeron. And when you're riveting two pieces of metal together, they absolutely must be in contact where the rivet is set, because that's where the strength is. So if the rivet somehow mushes out in between the two pieces of metal, that's not a strong joint, and it's not acceptable. So you have to make it not do that. So I think I reset this rivet 3 times, maybe 4 times. Thankfully, again, I used the smaller drill bit, so it didn't do damage to the hole. And end up having my wife come out, which I think she does in probably just a minute here, to help me try to hold this flange, hold this bulkhead in a position that causes the flange to sit down inside the longeron when we set the rivet. I also eventually got smart enough to decide to use the squeezer on these because it can reach instead of trying to use the gun and bar. But sometimes the squeezer doesn't do a good job with those either when you have to set them where the flange doesn't want to sit down. And I still don't understand why it didn't want to sit down. I even bent it into place, and it just, for some reason, wouldn't. I don't know if it was some other bend in the metal or some sort of twist or something, but eventually got it. And then I was using the squeezer to finish up the longeron, so that worked out pretty well. Oh yeah, I was adding clecos to make sure this one worked out better, and this bulkhead worked out a lot better. So I think we just do the last couple of bulkheads, and then in the next video I want to say it will be preparation for the top skins to go on. So there will be some last minute connection of pieces and then some dimpling and whatnot. I have to put the aft deck on. So we'll see you next time to continue with that stuff. But I think the side skins are pretty much done now. Thanks for coming.